Alright guys, let us try to do another example, which is for number 2. Alright, let's try to do B here. So I already put it in augmented matrix, but before we proceed, let us try to see whether it is invertible or not by finding out the determinant. So what will you choose here? Right, the hint is that choose those that row or columns that has the a more zero compared to others. So if you look at this, we know that the second column here contains 0 to 0 with 2 zeros, so we don't need to really calculate for 0 and 0 here later, because when you multiply it, we will get 0. We just need to calculate for this one, right? So let's do that. There you have it, right? We get 2, which means that it is invertible. So let's see, we have already I already put it in the form of augmented matrix. Next thing to do is to change all of this left hand side into identity matrix. So again, we are going to start with a sequence. We're going to start on the left hand side, go down, and we're going to look 1 in the middle and solve for the top and bottom, and then look for 1 at the lower last column here, and then solve for the other elements to 0. Alright, so let's do that. Right, so this is already 1, so already solved. So let's change this to 0. How to make 1 here to become 0? We can subtract R2 with R1. So 1 minus 1, you will get 0. Right, so there you have it. After subtracting R2 to R1, right, we'll get this. So now let's change this element to 0. So how to change it? It is R3 minus with this value being multiplied by 3. Okay, so it is actually R3 minus 3R1. Okay, now this is what we get. So we have actually changed all in the first column. Let's look at the second column. By right, we already obtained 0, this 2 0 here, so we just need to focus on this one, right? We actually going to do this one first, of course. So how to change 2 into 1? So we can multiply it, right? So we can multiply any value except 0 with this row. So what should we multiply it with? So 2 times with 1 over 2 will give us 2 over 2, which later will give us 1, right? So let's do that. Great. Now we actually already solved the second column. That leaves us with the last column. As for this one, we don't need to actually solve for this one because it's already 1, so we already solved for diagonal automatically. So what's left is to solve for this, make it 0. So how to make this 0? Simply subtract R1 with R3. Now we have come to our last element that need to be changed. So we already have all this. How to change negative 1 over 2 into 0? So this is already negative, so just sum, right? Just sum it into the same value. So negative 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 will give you 0, right? So how to get that another 1 over 2? So we have this, again multiply this with 1 over 2, and so basically the equation will be, the process will be R1 plus 1 over 2 R3. No, R2, sorry. R2 plus with 1 over 2 R3. So there you have it. We already changed all of this left hand side into identity, and as a result, the originally identity matrix on our right hand side has been changed into the inverse matrix for B. Alright, so that's it. Thank you.